I think the longevity of people that work um, at Bo Digital, but also just in places where the leadership team shows that they really care for their employees. Those people's longevities in their job really show that um, that leadership is one of the most important aspects of a job.
I never anticipated when I started my teaching career that I would leave that because I loved the kids and I loved my friends there, but was given the opportunity after a huge life event to work for Wayne as a writer, which I also love to do. Um, I never anticipated that he would encourage me to learn anything I asked about. He was supportive, he was challenging, he pointed me to the experts we have on our team if I needed assistance. Um, he just creates an environment where people get the opportunity to be successful. And I don't know how he does it. I just think he's really good at it. I'm gushing currently and we'll try to stop, but um, it's just an opportunity to be more than you could ever be.
He is so uplifting, um, always praising where he can, finding the bright side of any situation, backing our teammates, you know, whether that's something internal or something external with partners. He's always looking at the good in any situation. And that's rare. Um, Even if he's having a bad day personally or in business, he doesn't let that carry over to anything relating to anybody else in the business or in the company. So I think that takes a lot of skill and a lot of um, patience on his side of things because you could easily be let your personal life or anything like that carry over. And he just doesn't let that happen. And I think that a lot of situations, some of us get frustrated with him because we're like, why are you not more mad at the way this person's talking to us or at the way this situation's being handled or the way this partner treated us in this situation? And he always, shines light on it in a different perspective. And then we're always sitting back like, now we feel like terrible people because you're right. We should have looked at it from that light. Um, and then another thing is he always makes everyone feel included and important. And I think that's also such a rare characteristic.
I realized that I sort of have a leadership style that's the same as my parenting style. And if I had to name it, I would say that I lead by empowerment. And so, the same way that if my son, he has a project he's doing for his junior year and he had to choose a book and there's all these things that go with it, basically, I'm never going to be the parent to take over that project and tell him how to execute his vision and do it for him. But I am going to empower him with information. I'm going to empower him with resources. I'm going to empower him with even just by encouraging him that he can do this. That's kind of how I lead. And I really try not to, even if I do have a vision for how we were going to execute this project A to Z, what I can do is articulate what my vision is and then see how you think your contribution can help us to get there from A to Z, if that makes sense. So I would say it's an empowering leadership style.
Until I got to Bo Digital, I'd never been with a company that cared what my strengths were or what my passions were. It was always more about, are you showing up on time and are you completing these tasks regardless of what you enjoy doing? And I found that the more tasks that were put in front of me that I enjoy doing, that I was able to use my innate abilities and skills and things that I liked doing, the more enjoyment I got out of it. And the less those felt like tasks, and the more they felt like something I got to do. And I was able to use those things that I'm inherently good at for the betterment of the company, for our partners, and for our overall team.
Wayne set such a good example, and Heather and Brad and everybody on our leadership team who is in that position is there because they care about the organization and the success of the organization, and we care about our partners and our clients and making sure that they succeed, but they care about people too, and first and always. And one of the personal examples that I experienced with that is when my wife had some pretty serious health complications during pregnancy and had to spend an extended period of time in the hospital. And Wayne and the rest of our leadership team just went above and beyond to make it possible for me to be present with her and not have to worry about work and deadlines and things that needed to get done. They took care of that for me while I was out, and really made sure that we were cared for. And so that that instills a level of loyalty and just gratitude that you can't just replicate anywhere else.
What's up, everyone? Bill Svoboda here, Close Simple. When I think about leadership, I think about being poured into. So how do I get around people that I can be inspired by? That might be conversations, that might be watching YouTube videos or books, whatever it is. I'm constantly trying to fill my head with new ideas to make my world a little bigger. When I think about myself as a leader, though, which is kind of a weird thought to think about, the way I really try to lead is by example, where if I'm on a project, I'm going to give it 110%, 120%, where people go, okay, if we ask Bill to be a part of this, he's going to bring his A game consistently. And I think what that does is just raises the level of excellence in any organization. So people working under me or alongside me know what they're going to expect and kind of what is expected out of them as well. Kind of goes back into my first line. I want to surround myself with new ideas, new inputs, so I get brought up, and that way, when I'm in charge of something, I can bring others up as well.
This is Brandy Abercrombie with National Investors Title Insurance Company. And thank you, Wayne, for asking me to talk about my leadership style. So I feel like my leadership style is really one of collaboration. I don't always feel like I'm the smartest person in the room. And I really like to get the feedback of my team, because I feel like the more minds are working on a problem, really probably the better the solution is going to be. And that leadership style really comes to me from leaders, both good and bad. When I was first professionally getting into the workforce, I had a leader who his mantra was the best way to promote yourself is to replace yourself. So it's always really important for me, and I've made it a part of my career to always try to pour as much as I can into everyone that I've worked with, from a receptionist all the way up. Now I have the opportunity to work with a sales team, and so I try to teach them everything I know, every minute detail, just so that they can make good decisions on their own. And I've learned that is I think it's a good leadership trait, because I've had other leaders who did not choose to share things, and it made it really hard to be successful in the roles that I was in. So again, I think collaboration is key to the success of any organization. Best of luck to you guys.
Hey there, Wayne in Alta Edge, Louisville. I hope everybody's well. We're talking leadership styles. It's Mike Trowbridge here from Westcor. I think I'm more of a blend of the coaching as well as participative democratic leadership style. Coaching, very important to me. Always looking to help support our folks. Also want to make sure our folks have the input and say in some of the decision-making process that we have here at our company. We hire very amazing people, and I think it's crucial to get the input from them. I've also benefited from both of these leadership styles personally, as the company I work for has invested in me with both internal and external channels. I've had the ability and the privilege to work with a sales and leadership coach that's been, quite frankly, life-changing. For those looking to grow, I think it's crucial to get uncomfortable, step outside that comfort zone, and ask to do extra projects, But first and foremost, make sure your leadership team knows that you want to do more. You want to grow, professionally develop, and take maybe another step up the ladder. So getting uncomfortable, get a chance to maybe learn different departments and see what other people do in your organization, just to get that well-rounded approach, because those multiplayer tools can actually fill gaps where necessary and just makes yourself more valuable. So continue to invest in yourself, potentially look at a leadership coach. I think hearing from more voices is extremely important, as well as one of the quotes I've heard is, "It's lonely at the top." You know, I get it, but I also feel like you've got to lean on your team and you've got to have a support system and the input from multiple people, because that's going to empower you to make those decisions, to lead your team, your region, your organization, because together you can do more.